thought it was dang
I'm only on 12%. I need you. My phone on that charger. This light ain't gonna hold the charge for that long. Especially when it's that bright. What up, Mingo? Peace, peace, kinfolk. Tap that screen, shut her live. Come on in. Welcome, welcome. They still say 0 people in here, and I see both of y'all in here. Make it make sense. TikTok be playing. Mine say 0. So that's what I knew, the numbers be off. I been knew that shit. Come on in, tap that screen, shut her live. What up, y'all? Come on in, come on in. Tap that screen, shut her live. Come on in, we finna talk about scientific racism. A lot of people are involved in scientific racism on both sides and don't even know it. We're gonna break it down. Tap that screen, shut her live. We begin at 1K. Tap that screen. Coldest mixtape of all time, one of the coldest. All consciousness on the whole album. We talking about these people that ain't us. Tap that screen. What up, y'all? Come on in. Read between the lines. Deal. Tap that phone. We almost there. 888. DNC. Can we get a 999 for one time? For the one time? Oh, 1K, family. We made it. What's good, y'all? Thanks for the likes. We in here. We back. For those that missed the live last night, I'm gonna put the whole live on my YouTube probably later today, so you can catch up on some of the gems that was dropped. I hate if you was asleep, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm sorry, not sorry. I had basically I had to put in some work yesterday. I had to go to work, so I didn't get back till like 7 o'clock. So, you know what I'm saying? I had to handle my B9s in my little scrappy top. But let's get into this live. Yesterday we was talking about the funeral of Pan Africanism. After the gems we dropped yesterday about Pan Africanism having a connection to Christianity, and a lot of these early Pan Africanists that started Pan Africanism were all Christian preachers. After we dropped that gem, at this point we know it's a hijack. That shit not for us. They was on some get down or lay down. They was going around colonizing different places. Not only did America get colonized by Christianity, Americans went to Africa to colonize other Africans using Christianity. Make it make sense. You know what I'm saying? That shit don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you gotta peep the game or the play they making. It's called scientific racism. First of all, the concept of race didn't begin to the 16th century, to the 1500s. That shit didn't exist. Like, this is new. It's a new concept. It's a social experiment. Honestly. It's a social experiment. Let me show y'all the social experiment in 4K. Hold on. That's where they got different tax brackets. They got different tax brackets for different races, but we all know race doesn't exist. It's a social construct. We finna cook. Because I was cooking last night and I've been cooking all this morning, just dropping gems. And I know Capri tired of hearing me talk, so y'all get to hear me talk. Because I've been cooking all morning since I woke up. Deep thoughts. Putting gem after gem after gem together. That's what we do. Welcome to the Gem Droppers Association Anti-Indoctrination League. Come on in, family. This is a safe space for American Indians and copper-colored Aboriginal and original people of this plane. Welcome in, welcome in. Come on in, come on in. The panel is open if anybody want to come up and ask some questions or chop it up with your boy, exchange ideas, exchange information, network, connect. If you interested in any of the videos that I've been dropping, you like my content or anything like that, you want to ask me a question about any of my content, you're welcome to come up. Even if you a naysayer, if you just like, you not Indian, the world is a globe, whatever you want to say, whatever concept that I done broke down or ideologies that you believe in, you welcome to come up and discuss it at this moment. But after I get to cooking, I don't want nobody coming up interrupting. So you get it in right now or forever hold your peace. The panel is open. Because I'm about to cook on some shit. We about to talk scientific racism. A lot of the things that you believe is science, it's not science. It's scientific racism. So what was people before the 16th century? If it wasn't no white tea, black, Asian, whatever the social constructs and racial classes that you want to believe it is, what was people being called before then? Hold on, y'all, hold on. We finna cook. Scientific racism. Exhibit A. Come on in. If you haven't heard of scientific racism or not familiar with any of these terms, welcome to Swarthy Media, aka Anti-Indoctrination League, where we're gem droppers, and it's an association, and we're anti-indoctrination. So come on in. What up, we the people? Peace, kinfolk. It says scientific racism. Since enslaved people were first brought to this country, promoters of the anti-black racism and white tea supremacy have co-opted the authority of science to justify racial inequality. The history of pseudoscientific methods proving white biological superiority and flawed social studies used to show inherent racial characteristics still influence society today. To this day. Especially when it comes to people discussing cranial sizes and melanated people being faster. A lot of this is scientific racism. It has a little bit of truth to it, but most of it's scientific racism. A lot of these ideologies was created by white tea racist men in the 1900s. A lot of these theories and ideologies, Darwinism is scientific racism. Globalism, all the isms is scientific racism. The medical malpractice industry is scientific racism. The medical industry, period, was created on experimenting on melanated women. If we gonna talk, let's talk. Eugenics is scientific racism, aka Planned Parenthood, Margaret Sanger and them boys. Yeah, scientific racism. When I say scientific racism is heavy and it controls a lot of the thinking patterns of people in the modern era. Oh, you thought you was smart? Nah, you just a scientific racist. You just like to regurgitate scientific racism. That's all. The big picture. Eugenics is the scientifically inaccurate theory that humans can be improved through selective breeding of populations. Scientific racism. Eugenics believed in the prejudice and an incorrect understanding of Mendelian genetics that claim abstract human qualities, i.e., intelligence and social behaviors, were inherited in a simple fashion. Similarly, they believe complex diseases and disorders were solely the outcome of genetic inheritance. Who be promoting things like that? Like I said, black supremacy and white supremacy is just the same. It goes hand in hand. It goes one and the other. It's yin and yang, my boy. The implementation of eugenics practices cause widespread harm, particularly to populations that are being marginalized. And we all know who gets marginalized behind scientific racism. America is a big experiment. It's a social experiment. They done social experiments at colleges like Stanford, and it's called the Stanford Prison Experiment, where they chose like 30 or 40 people, and they chose some to be guards and some to be inmates, and they was just watching people like be inmates and be guards, and some people was getting out of hand, and they was doing a lot of social experiments. Gang banging was a social experiment. Another one. They hired people, some groups of black people. I swear to God, y'all, this is CIA documents. I can prove this, that they really did this, and it's in Stanford's. Some of their they got thesis on this. They got movies about this stuff that they was doing, experimenting on, doing social experiments on people, hiring people through the newspaper to come up there and spend a weekend up there, as you know what I'm saying, or come up there and spend 7 days up there, and you wouldn't have locked in a room, or boy, there's a lot of strange things going on. I can't even really delve into it, but look it up. I never want you to believe what I'm saying. I always want you to do some research and find out if I'm telling the truth. It's about gnosis. We're not in the era of belief anymore. Welcome to the new millennium. Welcome to the new age. It's not about belief, people. You see where it say eugenicists believed in a prejudice and incorrect understanding of Mendelian genetics that claim abstract human qualities, such as intelligence, social behaviors. Intelligence ain't got nothing to do with race. But a lot of people want to spread misinformation and keep racism up and keep this shit going. As long as you divide it, people, they control everything. All white people ain't own no slaves. A lot of them never owned no slaves because they was the slaves. Oops. I told too much truth right there. Told too much truth right there. Some people ain't gonna like what I'm saying because they're black supremacists. Some people ain't gonna like what I'm saying because they're white supremacists. Both of those are social constructs. Neither one is good. Ain't no good to, but both of that shit is the lesser of the two evils. Evil. People don't have no God genes in them. People be talking about they gods, boy. Y'all don't act like people God-fearing people. Y'all don't act like y'all trying to uphold the standards of a righteous person. I be seeing some of my people, American Indians, out here promoting some of these scientific racist concepts. The Hablo group thing is eugenics. It's modern eugenics. DNA cannot point you to a direct lineage of a bloodline. They can just point you to a certain area that people that are there at that point right now. And who's to say? What up, Vaughn? Who's to say? Who's to say that those people didn't move from somewhere else? Because we all know people migrate over time and over history. And the world has been shuffled around. After these WWs that happened in the early 1900s, a lot of the world got renamed and reshuffled. All these countries in Africa wasn't called what they called. A lot of those countries are just getting named. In the 1950s, 1940s, 1930s, 1960s. A lot of these countries around the world wasn't called what they're called. They switched the names. They flipped it around. Yo, hijack didn't happen until the late to mid 1950s, 1960s. Up until that point, melanated people in America was controlling the industries in America as far as owning grocery stores, owning businesses, period. We was good up until that whole civil rights movement with the whole, you know what I'm saying, the Masonic civil rights movement. Yes, that was a Masonic movement. Every one of those people that was involved in it was high-ranking Masons. From MLK, his dad and granddaddy was high-ranking Masons. From MLK to Maynard Rustin to Al Sharpton to Jesse Jackson to all these, even John Lewis, all these dudes. They was all involved in Masonry. How we go from having our own everything to integration with nothing. They flipped the story on y'all. They didn't tell y'all the truth. This is a 420 friendly live, so if you roll it, you got it. You know what I'm saying? You know what to do. We in here building. What up, Rose? We in here building though. Tap that screenshot of live. Thanks for the likes. I appreciate all the likes. But hold on, let's do a screen flip. Hold on. Outcome of genetic inheritance. The implementation of eugenics practices has caused widespread harm, particularly to the populations that are being marginalized. Eugenics is not a fringe movement. Starting in the late 1800s, leaders and intellectuals worldwide perpetuated eugenic beliefs, policies based on common races and xenophobic attitudes. Many of these beliefs and policies still exist in the United States. Thank you. Thank you. Right there. It's telling you that you still practicing eugenics in the United States right now. And eugenics can be practiced by melanated people as well. Xenophobic attitudes. Xenophobic, that means you can be the same color and not like a certain people because of something outside of their color. Of a food they eat, or of the way their hair look, or some bullshit. Any made up bullshit that you can think of. Look, the genomics communities continue to work to scientifically debunk eugenic myths and combat modern-day manifestations of eugenics and scientific racism, particularly as they affect people of color, people with disabilities, and LGBTQ individuals. Scientific racism. I ain't even no proponent of that rainbow stuff, but even a lot of the hate on that is scientific racism. I'm going to keep it real. I'm going to keep it 100. Man, bro, what did you say? Auntie Furry, bro, what did you on? What you on, bro? Ain't nobody talking about blacks, Africans, or Stonehenge. We talking about scientific racism. And here you come in spamming the chat with scientific racism. Make this make sense. Let me give me some mods up in here. Rashid, I'm about to make you a mod. Hold on, I gotta check my mods. I can't add no new mods. I already got 30. They ain't in here though. They probably working or some shit. Or sleep. Or dealing with life. It'd be like that. They'll be in here soon. Nah, scientific racism still exists. Many of these beliefs and policies still exist in the United States. Right now, in 2024. The shit you putting in my chat right now is scientific racism. Matter of fact, if you ain't trying to come up, you can get the fuck out. You can't even come up. Request up, bro. If you don't request up, you getting kicked out. You got 1,000. I ain't no Hotep. I don't know what a Hotep is. What that is. I'm an American Indian. I don't get down with that labeling people. How you gonna tell me who I am? Nah, I don't do no pseudo history or Afrocentric pseudo history. What is that? What is that? I don't know what that is. It sounds like scientific racism to me. That's all you dudes do is spit, regurgitate scientific racism. Scientific racism. Who's to say Cleopatra even existed? Can you show me her bones? Can you show me the bones of Cleopatra? Can you show me anything that's pertaining to Cleopatra besides what the hell you regurgitating on my live? You about to get your goofy ass blocked. Mute. Block. See you. Wouldn't want to be you. Yeah. Would see you, wouldn't want to be you. Yeah, all that should be scientific racism. The immaterial anti-bill was, yeah, I already know. Facts. Yeah, I know. It was that's what the whole Jesse Smollett thing was about. That's what he was on. He was being backed by Cory Booker and a few other politicians that was on, you know what I'm saying? Cop Mala, little cronies. All her cronies was involved. The little Obama crew. The ones that push, you know what I'm saying, the rainbow shit. Because they ain't pushing for melanated people, but yet they come into making little comments talking about we should be backing certain people. Shit, why? You don't back us at all. You don't back us at all. Matter of fact, you go against us at every chance you get. Let me change the slide though. We cooking on this scientific racism right now. Eugenics is a scientifically erroneous and immoral theory of racial improvement and planned breeding, which gained popularity during the early 20th century. Eugenicists worldwide believed they could perfect human beings and eliminate so-called social ills through genetics and heredity. They believe the use of methods such as involuntary sterilization, segregation, social exclusion would rid society of individuals deemed by them to be unfit. Scientific racism is an ideology that appropriates the methods and the legitimacy of science to argue for the superiority of white Europeans and the inferiority of non-white people, those whose social economic status have been historically marginalized. Like eugenics, scientific racism grew out of misappropriation of revolutionary advances in medicine, anatomy, statistics during the 18th and 19th centuries. Charles Darwin's theory of evolution, though the mechanism of natural selection. Natural selection, Greg Mendel's laws of inheritance, eugenic theories, and scientific racism drew support from contemporary xenophobia, anti-Semitism, Exism, colonialism, imperialism, all the isms, like I told y'all, as well as justifications of slavery, particularly in the United States. This is what we be talking about. It just broke it down right there. All the isms is scientific racism. Anytime you hear ism with anything on the back of it, scientific racism. They about to tell you some bullshit. Anytime some people representing some ism crews, their whole ideology is based on scientific racism. I guarantee you. Like it says, the misappropriation of revolutionary advances in medicine, that right there proves that they was experimenting on people, trying to figure out, like, they practicing medicine on people, on melanated people, doing experiments in the 18th and 19th century. Like I said, Charles Darwin's theory is scientific racism. So that whole Pan African Charles Darwin, we came from hominids thing, is scientific racism. Point blank. Period, point blank. They're turning the light on, I can't see. It's in here somewhere. Oh, I can't see it. It's all scientific racism. Like I said, Charles Darwin, all these dudes. Charles Darwin, Mendel, all these dudes was racist people. And a lot of them was parading as intelligent men when they really was just making up shit off based on the hate that they have for certain people. And we know those certain people look like us. And it was honestly on some jealousy stuff. They wanted what you have. And it showed you on the movie Get Out, when the man was asking them about different things, like how he visions and how he looks at certain things, and he was talking about his eyes, and if I had your eyes, and that's how they look at you. If I had your build, if I had your body, if I had your strength. All this is scientific racism. A lot of the masonry began the early United States began on scientific racism. These where they would have these secret club meetings and discuss these outlandish theories, because a lot of these theories is bullshit. So you know the shit was outlandish. They would come up with these outlandish ass theories about who the original people was and who the first man was, and some people came from apes and all this bullshit. The little skull picture where they measuring the skull, they showed you on the Django, like Calvin Candy, the dude Leonardo DiCaprio played. He was into scientific racism. That's another gem. Go back and watch that movie. Look at that part. Go look at that scene. And he's talking about basically like they don't think your brain was big as theirs, so they would crack open your cranium just to see. Let's do an experiment. Scientific racism. Misappropriation of revolutionary advances in medicine, anatomy, and statistics during the 18th and 19th centuries. Like I said, Charles Darwin was a scientist. Yeah, Mendel. We all heard about Mendel's laws. This is the shit they teach you in school. So the whole school system is based on scientific racism. The test, the IQ test, that's scientific racism. That came from the Nazis in Germany. That was doing eugenics as well. That was eugenics. Make this make sense. Make this make sense. What up, Lola? What up, Easy? Scientific racism. Like I said, this is a deep rabbit hole. All this stuff stems in scientific racism. Even this nigga, Francis Galton. He the one who came up with the term eugenics. Francis Galton, an English statistician and demographer and ethnologist and cousin of Charles Darwin, coined the term eugenics in 1883. Galton defined eugenics as the study of agencies under social control that may improve or impair the racial qualities of future generations, either physically or mentally. Galton claimed that health and disease, as well as social and intellectual characteristics, were based upon heredity and the concept of race. Remember, I told you the concept of race didn't begin until the 1600s. So during the 1870s, 1880s, discussions of human improvement, hold on, let me move the words, and the ideology of scientific racism became increasingly common. So-called experts determine individuals and groups of people to either be superior or inferior. They believe biological and behavioral characteristics were fixed and unchangeable, and place individuals and populations and nations. Hold on, let me flip the script. This is one of the books they would have, and as you see, it's written in German. So that lets you know that they was practicing eugenics in Germany, like I said. Hold on, let's see. And the ideology of scientific racism became increasingly common, and so-called experts determine individuals and groups of people to be either superior or inferior. They believe biological and behavior characteristics were fixed and unchangeable, and place individuals, populations, nations inside the hierarchy. So they was putting people in different classes, and you know what I'm saying, in the system, like okay, you're dark, so you gotta be in this class, or you're white tea, you gotta be in this class, or you're whatever. This is all social constructs. This don't exist. It doesn't have a tangible base in science. It's made up off emotions. Darwinism, Mendel's law, all that shit is scientific racism. None of that shit is real. None of that shit is real. And if you like the bill, you enjoying yourself today, and you want to gift your boy, hit your boy with the Cash App right there on the screen. And we are homeless. We do accept, you know what I'm saying, any donations towards helping us get in the room every day. I've been working for the past couple of days, so I haven't, you know what I'm saying, been needing the assistance. But now that's ran out, I only really can, you know what I'm saying, try to make money on the weekend, because that's when I'll be finding work or having work. But during the week it'd be a struggle. So if anybody can help us with a little Cash App donation, hit the Cash App.
And those who are voting, please make the right decision.
Oh yeah, I ain't participating. I can't get down. I can't get down with the clown game no more.
Don't vote that witch in. This is the worst administration ever. And then it's like,
the key words to me is when they say it's the lesser of two evils. Nigga, did you not hear evil? I heard evil. I don't want to have to choose between no evils. I don't want no evil around me.
no, what can't you choose righteousness?
Yeah.
Not righteousness then.
The greater of two righteousnesses.
What's considered right will be considered wrong,
look,
and what's wrong will be considered
exactly.
right.
The lesser of two evils. Just that that whole statement is a negative statement. Why is not the greater of two?
She should not be an option.
Righteousness.
The way she was locking brothers and sisters up. Even for right now, under her administration, people were protesting and got 3 years.
Just you see how she just handled the whole flood situation. But y'all think this the only flood gonna come in the next 4 years?
Another black woman is locked up right now because of her.
She don't care.
Administration.
And she don't care.
She's the VP right now.
Kamala does
While
not care.
she's running for presidency. Make it make sense. She didn't have no compassion for them people, offering them $750 in that devastation in East Tennessee and what's going on in Florida now, North Carolina, and it's starting to get freezing there.
Mm-hmm.
And people are still in need. They lost everything.
Exactly. Yeah, sending money to Israel and Ukraine, man. Boy, if y'all don't stop, our people right here in America suffering. That's why we created Mothers Against Homelessness and Parents Against Homelessness. We're going to help instead of hurting the cause, because we know what it's like to be going from room to room and be out on the streets and have to take your stuff everywhere or lose everything. We lost everything.
And we're going to have a program for the children?
I had 2 pair of shorts and Capri Sun had 1. He only had 1 pair of shorts. I had to buy him some clothes during this process. I had to buy myself some pants. And I still don't got but 2 pair of pants, and he got 2 pair of pants. You know what I'm saying? That's how bad it is. But at the end of the day, I'm still out here dropping these gems, still out here busting my ass, trying to work and make things shake. I just be asking people for a little help. And if you want to help, like I said, hit the cash app.
So we can get some avocados or some cereal or something.
Yeah, we ain't got no money for no food today. We ain't ate nothing since yesterday. Well, day before yesterday. We didn't eat yesterday. But, you know what I'm saying? If anybody want to help, because we be having money, but like I said, our money be going straight to the room.
We can't afford to be outside in 52 degrees.
Yeah, it's cold too, so we can't, you know what I'm saying? Hey, now I'm looking like, where all the homeless people at? I don't see these niggas no more. The tent sleeping niggas, they gone. Where they at now?
You know, what is it, illegal to be homeless here now?
Nah, it ain't yet. They trying to make it though. Juicy said that's what she was talking about. She said it's illegal out there in St. Louis. Yes.
So in St. Louis, it's illegal to be homeless.
Yes.
It's these corporations that are benefiting from operating in fraudulent contracting, and we suffer, we the people. You know, these people are asking these people to pay rent in this densification while they're losing their employment. They're losing their employment and they just lost everything. We're all the way out here in California and we're trying to advocate for people to be aware of the situations going on with this so-called government. And we have baby, you want some pictures. Don't forget the statistics of the missing children. They're more valuable than the missing money.
Mm-hmm. That's where the money and the children go together. But like I said, if anybody want to help us, my cash app right there on that sticker. You want to help us. But let's get back into the eugenics, scientific racism. By the 1920s, eugenics had become a popular global movement. There was popular, elite, and governmental support for eugenics in Germany, the United States, Great Britain, Italy, Mexico, Canada, and other countries. Statisticians, economists, anthropologists, sociologists, social reformers, public health officials, and members of general public supported eugenics through a variety of academic and popular literature. The most well-known application of eugenics occurred in Germany in the lead up to WW2 and the Holocaust. The not Americans The racial state between 1933 and 1945 used its resources to cleanse the German people and the non-American state of those they deemed unworthy of life. Non-Americans in Germany, Austria, and other occupied territories euthanized at least 70,000 people. I'm not saying it didn't happen or it did happen, but I know for sure they was practicing eugenics. They got it from America. They learned it from here. They was following Margaret Sanger. Now, Margaret Sanger is very popular over there. And a lot of her constituents that was around her. And peeped the game, how these so-called Pan Africans around that same time was going to these places. Marcus Garvey was known to go to Germany. W.B. Du Bois was known to be in Germany and Britain and all these places. They was known for going back and forth. I did the breakdown about Liberia. That was a colonization thing. Pan Africanism began with people that was trying to colonize melanated people from America that was trying to go to Africa and colonize Africa. That's how Pan Africanism began. That's the whole live in a nutshell yesterday. And I was breaking it down and showing you how that shit was connected and all these different preachers that began it. It was all started by American preachers. Black American preachers. Melanated American preachers. Yeah. That's the whole point. They want to lock everybody up anyway. While they spend your housing funds, they make homelessness illegal. Yeah, they want to lock everybody. They want you in the prison anyway. So they, you know what I'm saying? It's the vagrancy laws all over again. What they did to people in the early 1870s, right after the so-called WARs and the whole civil WAR, after that situation, yeah, which was really the Gullah WARs, they made it illegal for you to be standing anywhere more than 2 deep. They would say, where you work, where your job, where you work at. Vagrancy laws, loitering laws. That's what they came up with, loitering. Every law in America was created to stop you from doing something. And I ain't talking about you as a people, we talking about melanated people. Every law they created was to stop a melanated person from doing something. They ain't care about the safety of the people. They seen we was making money doing something. And they like, oh, we gotta stop that. Like I said, eugenics is deep, family. Okay, euthanized at least 70,000 adults, 5,200 children. They implemented a campaign of forced sterilization that claimed at least 400,000 victims. This culminated in the near destruction of the Wish people, as well as an effort to eliminate other marginalized ethnic minorities, such as the Sinti and the Roma, individuals with disabilities, and LG, you know the rest. But this is scientific racism, eugenics, modern eugenics. Okay, and this gonna tap into us. Watch this. The United States slavery and its legacies, fears of miscegenation, and eugenics were deeply connected in the early 20th century. Prominent American eugenicists expounded on their concerns of racial or the increasingly differential birth rates between immigrants and non-Nordic races compared to native-born Nordic YTs. Eugenicists use these concerns to promote discriminatory policies like anti-immigration and sterilization. American eugenicists from a variety of disciplines declared certain individuals unfit, feeble-minded. That's what Margaret Sanger used to say. They're feeble-minded. antisocial, which resulted in involuntary sterilization of at least 60,000 people through the 30 states laws by the 1970s. The eugenicists disappropriately targeted Latinx, Native Americans, African Americans, poor whites, and people with disabilities during the entirety of the 20th century. Eugenicists were so crucial to the enactment of discriminatory immigration legislation that was passed in 1924, aka the Walter Plecker Racial Integrity Act. It's deep, y'all. Like when I say a lot of the science that people be pushing today is racial science, scientific racism, and it don't have no base in truth or facts. It's all a setup. That's why they do certain people, our people, the way they do us. That's why the police show up to you 50 deep, because they deem you feeble-minded. You so slow you might pull out a pew-pew and we gotta unalive you. Watch this. This for old boy that said it don't exist no more. Didn't he say it ended in the 1960s? Didn't old boy that came in here on the bullshit earlier said it ended in the 1960s? Do eugenics and scientific racism still exist? Yes. While eugenics movement especially flourished during the 3 decades before the end of WW2, eugenics practices such as involuntary sterilization, forced institutionalization, social ostracization, and stigmas were common in the United States until at least the 1970s. In some instances, have continued into the present in various forms. With the completion of the Human Genome Project, HGP, more recently, advances in genomic screening technologies, there is some concern about whether generating an increasingly amount of genomic information in the prenatal setting, or whether generating an increasingly amount of genomic information in the prenatal setting